everyone! Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today's video is all about how I obtained my letters of references when I also applied for JET program, or Japan Exchange and Teaching Program. Alright, so let's start with your JET program letters of references, or also known as recommendation letters. So as stipulated on the guidelines, number 1, your letters of references must be written in either Japanese or English. Number 2, if you have not graduated yet, one of your referees must be someone related to your university. Number 3 is that you have to submit 2 different letters of references, and each one of it should have 2 photocopies. Now let's move on to my tips on how to obtain a well-made reference letters. So these tips are only guidelines that you may follow but may not guarantee that you will get into JET program. As I said on my previous video, if you've watched that, but if you haven't, the link is just here. You may watch my 7 tips on how you can apply in JET program. So let's get started. Number 1 is for you to approach the right people. So who are they? They are the people who can highlight your capabilities in working, in teaching, in using or speaking the English language. You should also prefer someone who can showcase your work ethics and your personality as a whole. Number 2, your immediate supervisors or managers could best fit to be your referees. If you are a student, tap a professor that could best describe you. Third tip is for you to approach more than 2 referees, so that if others may not be able to give you letters of references before the due date, you have still something to pass. In my case, I actually approached 4 people. One of them was my immediate supervisor from the school where I worked for 5 years, and 3 of them came from US Peace Corps Philippines, which I worked for 3 months only. So they are the HR manager, the technical and cross-cultural facilitator supervisor, and then the third one is the language and cross-cultural facilitator coordinator. All of them gave me letters of references, but I only needed 2, so I got one from my school supervisor and the other one from my technical and cross-cultural facilitator supervisor. Fourth tip is for you to approach them ahead of time so that they'll have ample time to write their letters. And as much as possible, introduce to them what Japan Exchange and Teaching Program is so that they have a little guide on what to write on their letters of references. And if they know about your aspirations, interests, dreams, and goals about going to Japan, that will be even better. Tip number 5 is don't worry about the format because the program hasn't specified how a reference letter should look like. So first, let's talk about the paper. Again, it was not indicated, but if you want your documents to be uniformed, you may ask your referees to place their letter on an A4 bond paper or letter-sized or short bond paper. Next, whom the letter should be addressed to is not also specified, but if you are very particular about that, you may request your referees to address it to. Mine has no address. I didn't give this format to my referees and it worked pretty fine. Now let's talk about the form. So as much as possible, your referees should give you the original copy of the letters of references, but if they are abroad or if you are abroad, they may send it through e-copy, soft copy, or scanned copy with, again, a fixed signature. Lastly, should your reference letters be sealed in envelopes? And the answer is, it depends. So mine were all sealed in envelopes and I didn't need to open them up because I requested my referees to produce 2 more copies of their letter of reference. So they had to pass 3 copies of their letter of reference if they were to seal it in an envelope, and I also remember them affixing their signature on the seal itself. Now, if your referees wouldn't place their letters in envelopes, you might as well be the one to photocopy them yourselves. I remember Last year, some of my co-JET applicants also submitted letter of references sealed in envelopes, but the personnel in JICC told them to take the letters out and to attach the letters with other documents. But mine, I was instructed to pass the letter of references in sealed envelopes as is, and they would just be the ones to take the letters out once they check my documents. So this ends our very short video, and I hope this video helps you. And if you have more questions, don't hesitate to comment down below. And on my next upload, I will also be talking about my statement of purpose. So I would give you some tips or guidelines or anything that I did last year when I applied for a JET program. So if you like this video, don't forget to thumbs it up, share and subscribe. God bless and goodbye.